I don't even know what this video is going to be about, if I'm to be honest. I just decided to come down here, get some fresh air, and film. It's been a while. I also don't really know the direction of this channel, so I figured, you know what? Let me just film an honest video about my thoughts right now, my opinions on training and fitness. It's still going to pertain to that, but maybe talk a little bit more about my life in fitness as well and my direction. And maybe that'll guide me towards videos and making videos because at the end of the day, I want to make educational and informative videos, but I also want to show my side of my life, my personality, mostly on the fitness side as well as coaching. And oftentimes I get too caught up in trying to educate everyone, including my clients, but I realize that that's not what everyone wants. Maybe people just want to see what I get up to when it comes to fitness. So I'm just going to share what my goals are for. I guess it's hard for me to tell what it is till the end of this year, but there is definitely one goal. And I made this goal at the beginning of January, which is to improve my health. And I'm not talking about just mental or physical, it's a combination of both. But the primary goal in health is to not get sick. And I know it's a far fetched and crazy idea, but I would love to not be able to get sick at all this year. And I know it's insane to think about being able to do that. I got sick, I think it was 5 times last year, which was already better than the year before. So 2023, when I was no, sorry, 2024, when I was fighting, I got sick almost every month, which is insane to think about now. And I'm just tired of it. I went to see the ENT, ear, nose, throat specialist, a week or two ago, and I bought some dust mite covers, double layered them as well. And my nose has definitely felt better. It's not perfect. I grew up with nose allergies. I have severe dust mite allergies, and that's definitely affected me. And even the ENT, as well as the allergist, which I saw a couple of years ago, said you're going to be more prone to sinus infections. And that's something I have to live with. And old me would have been very frustrated and disappointed. But now I'm like, you know what? You can't have everything. Everything can't be perfect. And the only thing I can do is make sure that I don't get sick as often. And yes, sure, it's easier said than done, but it's doable. There's so many things I haven't maximized doing yet, i.e., my sleep. Sure, I got enough hours, but was the quality good? And was I sleeping on time and waking up on time every morning? I wasn't doing those things. My sleep hygiene was, I would say, not great. And obviously, a lot of people go, "Oh, but you're sleeping 8 hours." Yeah, but that doesn't mean your sleep hygiene's awesome. There's definitely much better ways to improve it. And that's my goal this year. So making sure that I sleep before 11 and waking up at 7. And you'd be surprised by how it affects your hormones just by sleeping and waking at the right times, as well as not using your phone and electronic devices late at night. Makes a big difference when it comes to your hormones. So that's something I'm working on. But aside from that, what are my, I suppose, fitness goals of this year? And one thing's definitely changed a lot. I'm 31 now, and I grew up hating running. As someone who loved sports, give me a ball, run, let me chase after it, run after it, and I can do it all day. But the moment you tell me I just have to run in a straight line for minutes, hours, yeah, that's not happening. And I don't know if I can attribute that to ADHD. We do like novel things. And when you're doing the same thing over and over again, it's very hard to, we struggle with that. So running was just never a thing for me, unless if it's sprints. But even then, I struggled with sprinting, and I just never enjoyed it anywhere near as much as chasing a ball. It's funny you say that as well, or sorry, funny I say that, but dogs, supposedly a lot of them have ADHD, and well, when you think about it, they suddenly see food and they see a ball, and then whoa, there's a butterfly, and that's kind of how I grew up. I never knew I had ADHD, and I was only diagnosed last year or 2 years ago, but it all checks out. And as you can see, even now, I'm darting around. Anytime someone moves, it's a struggle. When I was in exam halls, anytime someone moved or anytime someone got up to go to the bathroom, I'd have to look up. And thinking about it now, yeah, that was a bit of a disadvantage, but it's made me who I am. And I'm very happy. I'm proud to have it. Obviously, it's not amazing sometimes, and I struggle with concentrating. Some people don't think I'm listening to them because I get distracted very easily. I have a million thoughts going on in my head, but it's definitely um, helped me, throughout my life. I've been slightly more creative when it comes to talking to people, when it comes to music, something I really enjoyed. Sport was definitely a given. I loved all different kinds of sports. And I'm actually very lucky that, a lot of ADHDers are prone to finding things to, because when you have ADHD, what it means is your baseline level of dopamine is lower than everyone else's. So you need drugs, usually Adderall, now Ritalin, to bring it back to baseline level. And a lot of people end up getting into drugs, they get into alcohol, and they depend on it. Whereas I'm very lucky that I ended up getting into exercise, and that was my quote unquote drug. And obviously, thinking back now, it's sometimes been an unhealthy addiction because I would be so obsessed that even if I'm feeling drained, I would still force myself to go to the gym, force myself to play sports. And I think that's what ended up getting me either injured, sick all the time, sleep deprived, moody, anxious. And this year is the year to change all that. And I know this video is getting a bit long, but these are just my thoughts and I want to share them. I think what's going to help is me getting into running. So, what did I do? Last month, I started running and it's incredible. I didn't think I'd enjoy it. And for the first week or two, it was okay. I wouldn't say I particularly enjoyed it. I have plantar fasciitis. I've had it for 3 years. It cropped up when I first started, I think, fighting. So I think it was after my second or third fight, that's when it started to hurt quite a bit. And at one point, it was hurting a lot. Now that I've stopped fighting for a year, it definitely helped. And I was only doing weight training, no, not really any cardio, aside from the occasional spar at my gym. But I don't know what it was. It just suddenly clicked. I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll try running. And my girlfriend, she runs. So I figured, why not? It could be something we could do together. And I can tell you, first 2 weeks was all right. I don't like not being good at things. And I was okay. I mean, I've had a couple runners say that for someone who doesn't run at all, that's a pretty decent time. And it would make sense as someone who's fought, who's done a lot of sports. My cardio would be decent, but running at a steady pace over a long period of time is not easy, especially on the tendons, ligaments, and joints. And my feet have to get used to it, my knees, right? So obviously, I wasn't very quick and I can't hold a super long pace, but it just suddenly clicked yesterday and everything just felt really easy out of nowhere. And I could keep up a much faster pace. And it's only been a month. Now, obviously, I'm more conditioned than most people. And that's why I'll probably see gains faster and I'll adapt quicker because I already do weight training and I've already had a strong base in other sports. But the beauty of running is that you can get good at it by running easy at an easy pace, which is mind-boggling to me because for 31 years, all I understood was, well, if you want to be good at something, you got to work hard, you got to play hard, you got to train hard. And that was my philosophy with sport. It was always to train hard, put in the hours, repeat the same skill over and over again. And for fighting, I would just always be in zone 4, zone 5, training hard, getting injured. But what I've learned in the last couple of months, well, yeah, a couple of months because I started looking into running. I have a few clients who are into Hyrox, but actually doing it myself, I realized that 80% of your runs should be zone 2 and easy. And that was mind boggling to me. And yeah, I've already seen a massive improvement over the last month. So it's awesome to hear that I can run in zone 2, which is an easy run, and feel amazing. Know that I'm going to progress and this is a way for me to improve without burning myself out. And to top it off, what I've realized with zone 2 runs as well is I get a crazy endorphin high. So I would feel amazing. It's like being on, drugs. And I just can't imagine, you know, what would I do now without running? And it's only been a month. And as ADHDers, we are prone to not really sticking to things. We get stimulated by novelty, but so far I'm loving it and I can't wait to share my journey in running. I don't plan to obviously stop weight training, so I guess you can call it hybrid training, but it's not going to be the traditional hybrid training that a lot of people do, which is more leg dominant, because what I find with a lot of hybrid training routines is that they tend to use their weight training to help them with their running, and that is usually in conjunction with high rocks training. And with high rocks training, a large sum of it is going to be cardio and leg training. However, my goal is still to be as aesthetic as possible. And oftentimes for guys, that means having a well built upper body, which I wouldn't say struggle with, but it's definitely not been easy for me to build my upper body compared to my lower body. And my legs just blew up when I started squatting a lot. So I'll still continue to do some lunges to maintain and make sure that I don't get injured. But the primary goal in the weight room is to still try and build my shoulders a bit more, build my rear delts, lateral delts mainly, build some pecs and back as well to get that triangular look and still look really aesthetic, but also be able to perform. And if someone decided to call me and say, "Hey, Locke, you want to come do some football runs today?" Be like, "Yeah, I can do that, no problem." Whereas if you asked me that 3-4 months ago, I'd struggle. I remember I think playing basketball with my friend a couple of months back, and I really struggled. My plantar fasciitis flared up right away. I was struggling to get up and down the court, and at 31, I think I'm too young to, even though I look fit, to feel that way. So running is going to give me that edge, if you may call it, for sports from my 30 to 40s. And it's it's the ability to also be able to, yeah, rock up to any sport and people can go, "Wow, you're really good." When oftentimes, and this is my belief, you can come across as really good just by having insanely good cardio in most sports. If you outrun people, you're probably going to beat them. That's why I think running is one of the most versatile sports, and that carries over to most things. And even if, let's say, for fighting, for example, running is not skill specific towards fighting and helping you improve fighting, but it still improves your cardio, your ability to train more, recover better. And yeah, I'm very excited to share this journey. Another thing as well with running is that's made me go, you know what, this is something I have to do, is it increases brain derived neurotrophic factor, which is BDNF. And that helps increase the amount of brain cells you produce in your head. And what I realized from fighting is that, well, I probably lost quite a lot. So jokes aside, I think this is going to be a great sport and endeavor for me to improve not only my physical, but mental health as well. And I'm looking forward to sharing this journey with whatever means. And it could be just speaking to this camera, but it could also be vlogging. I don't know. And that creative direction is yet to be decided. But I'm looking forward to share this journey. So hopefully you'll be able to learn something, but also see and follow along with my fitness journey. And as for now, I'm going to say peace.